Welcome to Fraser Mac Gaming. I'm Fraser Mac. This is the latest in my Fraser Mac Gaming news series. Today I'm going to run through my favourite Switch releases in the month of July. I'm almost caught up and I'm going to say a quick note that this will be one video of two for the month of July. There's so many releases I've had to split them into separate categories. So this video is going to focus on the indie and retro releases in July. But which games do I love? Which games are an absolute bargain? And what are my favourite Switch games for July 2019? Find out after this. First up this month, it's Siberia Delta. It's from Success Corporation and it is one of many shoot 'em ups that's on the list this month, so definitely right up my street, the games in July. Success Corporation first released Siberia Delta way back in the arcades in around 2000, I think. The new version came out in Japan, I believe last year, kind of last summertime, PS4 and Switch in Japan. So I actually have physical copies of this already, the Asian versions. The limited edition came with a lovely sleeve cover. Obviously, European version's been done by Dispatch Games. So July 2nd, Siberia Delta came out, so it's already out right now. It's obviously a vertical scrolling shmup. I'm not that familiar with it. I've not actually had a chance to play it yet. Obviously, it's something I'm excited for because I love shoot 'em ups. It's obviously got pretty good reviews, I think, on other systems. So the Switch version, it includes a replay mode, a score attack mode, 2 original planes, and more planes available as DLC. It's also got a new UI, and there's X levels, there's boss health, there's invincible time remaining after leveling up, etc. It's basically got some extra stuff to add to what the original game had and what they came out on previous consoles. So Siberia Delta is available now on Switch, on the eShop, and physical versions are being done by Dispatch Games. The next game on the list is something completely different from Siberia Delta, and it's What Remains of Edith Finch. So yeah, it came out on July the 4th. It's a multi-award winning game. Actually was recognised by the BAFTAs, the Choice Awards, so kind of around 2017, 2018, got a lot of praise. It's a first-person game. It is very much a kind of puzzle adventure kind of exploration style game. I've not played it. I've obviously heard about it. It's got a very kind of interesting story where you're the last person alive in the Finch household, and you go through a collection of stories that are from very different experiences, as you can see on the screen. You'll traverse all kinds of environments as you progress through the story, and each story ends with the death of a family member. So What Remains of Edith Finch is available now on the eShop for $17.99. Up next is another action game, and it is Blazing Chrome. It's something I've spoken about a lot on the channel previously. It's Joy Masher and Arcade Crew's retro-inspired, kind of homage to games like Contra, etc. Obviously, all the run and gun fantastic games of the kind of 16-bit era. It's out July 11th, so as the time of recording, it'll already be out. It's around $17 in the US. It'll be similar in the UK. It's also getting a physical release from Limited Run Games, so keep an eye out for that. It was announced as part of their E3 show, so keep an eye out for the details there. Hopefully it'll get a release soon. I'll be looking to get the physical and the digital copy, and I'll hopefully be covering some of the content on the channel, so look out for that. But obviously, Blazing Chrome, it's from Joy Masher and the Arcade Crew, and Joy Masher were actually involved in Onikin and Odalus, so they've got a kind of experience now of doing retro-inspired games, very much in that kind of 16-bit era, so some great retro feels there, something I'm really interested in. I think a lot of the people watching the channel will be interested in it too, so Blazing Chrome, one that you can get your hands on now. Up next, the game I'm very excited about is Eagle Island. It's from Nick Gregory and it was a Kickstarter funded project. It's been on the go for a few years now. I think it's taken him 4 years to complete the game, but it's a game that's special for lots of reasons. It's obviously got that kind of retro vibe. It's a bit of an action platform adventure game that I really do love, kind of going back to lovely pixel art, kind of 8-bit, 16-bit era, so lots of variety in the gameplay. I think it actually mashes up lots of different genres. People have struggled to kind of peg it down as a Metroidvania or, a platformer. I think it mixes lots of different genres together, but anyone who's really into the kind of indie games on the Switch, those exploration adventure games, platformers, I think they're going to love it. It is special for lots of other reasons. It's a game I've been looking forward to. I've seen lots of content on Twitter. It's obviously been at PAX events, and I've been itching to get my hands on it. But the big thing is it has lots of accessibility options. So not only is it a fantastic looking game, but it's open for lots of people to play it. So it has lots of different difficulty levels, but it's also capable of being played by people who might have slight issues with using controllers, so someone that's really got to be commended. But Eagle Island is available now. It's currently $20 on the US eShop, and it will be releasing on the 18th on the UK eShop. Moving back into the action genre, I've not tried to alternate, but somehow the release dates have worked out that way. But next up is Redeemer Enhanced Edition. So this is a game, obviously it's very much a top-down action game, so it's in that kind of, got that kind of God of War type theme and style. Obviously it's not a AAA experience, but it's in the kind of Diablo 3 type of gameplay. So obviously very intense top-down action, hand-to-hand combat. You've got a kill system. There's obviously ways of leveling up and kind of improving. There's an arena mode. You can have co-op mode for 2 players. There's perks, etc. So your character is obviously Vasily. Has been in a kind of hiding, almost like a monk style life for 20 years, and obviously now he's been unleashed. So yes, it's very intense, it's adult, it's got blood, it's got gore. It's definitely, lots of fun. I think it's got some cool cutscenes. It looks very much up my street. It's something I'm really interested in. There is a physical copy of it available. It is out July 12th. This video will be releasing on July 12th, so it will be out as the time of the release of this video. It's going to be around £25 on the UK eShop, $30 in the US. You can get a physical copy for around £24-25 in the UK if you look around. So definitely want to add to the collection. It looks like it should be a lot of fun. Maybe not quite on the level of Diablo 3, but it's an interesting time if you've already finished that. I did say that this was a month full of shoot-em-ups, and we're going to get into the swing of things now. So Caustic Blaze from Moss, obviously very well-known publisher, developer of shoot-em-ups. So Caustic Blaze, actually a game I believe from kind of like the PS3 era. It was on, taken onto the PS4. It's going to be arriving on Switch July 18th. I haven't seen it listed on the eShop yet, but PlayAsia are carrying physical copies of the game, and if you pre-order early, you get some extra special items. So I think you get a metal slipcase for the Switch, so it should be in a Switch size for the actual, you'll have the car, you can put it in there, so a nice little extra there. But obviously it is a bullet hell shooter, excellent game. It's very highly regarded, and there's going to be some extra content for it coming to the Switch. But obviously there's multiple storylines, unique characters, there's different elemental shot, there's different sort of unique elements of the game. There's a ranking system based on network features, there's challenges, there's lots of game modes. So Caustic Blaze is going to be around £30, physical copy on PlayAsia, and I'll put the links down below. Up next we have a game that's a collaboration between Ace Team and Sega, and we're going back onto those kind of retro vibes, and it's a game being brought forward into the new and the current generation based on the old classic 16-bit game. So a bit of information, Soul Seraph is the game. It was actually, back from the 16-bit era, quite a unique experience based on tower defense and strategy and elements of action as well. So quite a unique sort of combination of different genres there, but really interesting, something quite unique, something different. There's a lot of Metroidvanias, a lot of roguelites, kind of platformers. This game, obviously, I don't think we've got enough tower defense games, and obviously mixing tower defense, action and strategy I think is really interesting, something I'm keen to check out. Soul Seraph is actually already available on the Switch, so it was supposed to come out July 22nd, I believe the information. It got a kind of quite sudden release info, just a few weeks ago, but it's $15 and around a similar price in the UK, around £12, and it's one I'm interested in checking out. We're coming on to the last few games on the list now, and we're actually at the third shoot 'em up on the list, so any month where there's 3 good shoot 'em ups I'm considering buying is a good month in my book anyway. Powerumi is the name of the game, and it's a modern shoot 'em up set in a pre-Columbian inspired futuristic universe. That's how it's described by the devs at least. You play as the pilot Axo, you've got your ship, the Chukaru. It's the most powerful vessel in the world, and you've got different weapons and abilities and powers that you can use to take on the enemies. It's a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. You've got a serpent weapon, it will fire many shots in front of you. You've got a condor, it's a narrow beam in front of your ship, and a jaguar that locks onto enemies in front of you. So some really interesting weapons, you can see them on screen now. There's also lots of things that can be combined into super attacks. You've got an enemy attack called Crush, Drain and Boost, so you've got lots of different abilities and things you can use to take on the enemies in front of you. There's going to be 3 difficulty levels, there's some gorgeous 3D environments. It's obviously a futuristic universe and it's inspired by kind of Colombian visuals apparently, and it's got an advanced scoring system, so it's got lots of interesting elements. Power Roomie is out July 24th, around £13.49 UK and $15 in the US. We have another Moss title up next. It's the 4th, and I swear it is the final shoot 'em up on the list. It is Raiden 5 Director's Cut. So obviously it's a game that's previously been out on other platforms. I got it on PS4, and it's obviously another vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. It's a bullet hell shooter. It's a fantastic game. It originally, Raiden originally came out 25 years ago, I believe. So, it's been going a long time. It's got some great longevity in terms of a series because of the quality of the game. It is not for the faint-hearted. I've played it on the PS4. I've ordered it on the Switch. But it's a fantastic shooter. If that's your thing, this is another game you've got to pick up. So it's a great get for the Switch. There is a story mode, there's a boss mission mode, and there is a gallery, so you've got lots of character concept and game art that you can go and look through. It does have some interesting voice acting. It's kind of cheesy, but I think it's quite fun. You can play 1 and 2 players offline, and the Director's Cut is actually getting a physical limited copy out of the US. So you can get that on Amazon.com, and it's around $30. Last but not least on the list for July is Forager. It's from Hot Frog and Humble Bundle, and Forager is a very kind of open world 2D adventure that mixes a lot of different genres. It was showcased as part of a Nindies Direct or Nintendo Direct quite a while ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I've been listening out for it and sort of looking for news on this for a while. I'm glad to be hearing that it's actually going to be coming out soon. So it'll be on the eShop July 30th, but it's a mixture of a lot of different genres in that kind of 2D Zelda, Stardew Valley kind of Dragon Quest Builder style, because there's a lot of adventure, exploration, dungeon crawling, battles, boss battles, but you can also gather and collect resources. You can build structures and build your own town, etc., and expand it. You can learn new skills, abilities. You can get blueprints to build new areas. You can also solve puzzles and find secrets, raid dungeons. So it combines a lot of really interesting genres. It's been going for a while. Obviously, probably quite a small dev team, but it's a really interesting game. I like these styles of games. So Forager, it's due to come out July 30th, but there's also due to be a physical release coming out in September with some unique stickers and a poster. So really interesting touches there, and I'm looking forward to this one arriving on Switch. So those are the games for the month of July coming out on Switch. These are very much the indie and kind of retro releases on the Switch, but obviously 10 great games there, a lot of shoot 'em up, so I'm very, very happy. Obviously Raiden 5 is one I'm looking forward to. I have actually played some of it before, but on my Switch I tend to get more time to kind of casually play these games. So obviously Raiden 5, Caustic Blaze, Power Roomie, ones I'm interested in. But Eagle Island, I think, is another one. I think it's coming up and a little bit under the radar, but I think that's going to be a really, really fantastic game. So those are probably my favourites amongst that list. Please, hit that subscribe button if it's your first time, turn on notifications, and put comments down below. I'd love to hear which games you're playing, what you like from the list, or any games I might have missed that you'd be interested in for the month of July. Obviously, I'm going to have another video going through more of the major releases, the kind of AAA games and the big Nintendo games, because there's a lot of content for July. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.